Okay, what's up guys? So in this video we're going to do November financials and then look at where we are basically. And to do the November financials, you know what the deal is. We're going to go and fill out this form. I've already gotten my salary, like taxes for this month. So we're going to go and fill out the rest of this form. It's going to be pretty much like we've always done it. Pretty much the same thing as we've always done before. So let's go ahead and just get started here. So the easiest way for me to do this is just go into the reports, pick November. It's already set there, kind of. Right, and just kind of copy over the numbers here. So for interest paid, we got 134. And we can do a quick check. Total income 63645 lines up with that. Let's do the expenses. $25.80. Wow, exactly $25.80 for this month. So that brings the net income to $1,065. We put the net income, we bring it down here into the cash flow statement. We look for liquidations. I'm going to go into the budget to do this because it's a little bit easier, it seems like. So liquidations, we have $14.94 for liquidations. What was that? Okay, so I sold something on eBay. Got cash back. 7, no gifts and reimbursements. So reimbursements, I got to look into this account over here and find the inflow, the reimbursement. That's the one that came in December. The one that came in November is here. All right, so financing for new debt. We go into the budget and we look at, I already did this before the video. I put in all the cash spending, budgeted the cash spending, so all that we see in the available column is the new debt that I've taken on. So for new debt, what we have for this month is $961.73. And for debt payments, the amount that's in this category down here, this credit card payments, is $24.79. and 80 cents. Okay, and then for saving, so basically for saving, right, if you remember back last video, we put the savings inside of the tracking realm. So what's happening now is, you know, the amount that's going into the savings every month, the 616, it's sort of being tracked within YNAB. So what we can do is we could even just completely get rid of this entire column, because even this amount back here that we put into the emergency fund, right, still reflected there. So what we'll do, we'll just delete it. And investing is still going out, but investing we still have 0. All right, and then for cash flow this month, we have $15.96 and 48 cents. So I think that's the best month, the highest month, yep, that we've ever had so far. Second highest was back in September, and that's pretty cool. All right, so now let's do the balance sheet. Well, before we go there, you might be getting the sense that, like I am, that this is getting kind of repetitive, a little bit redundant, and maybe we don't have to do it every week. You're right. Or not every week, but every month, right? But you're right. It doesn't, you're just doing the same thing. Like all these numbers are already in your tracker, whatever you're using. Like this number you can get. This numbers are you pull from a little bit of different places and you build it out and you can see what your net cash flow is. The balance sheet is basically you're just copying the numbers from one place to another, so that's really not that different. So yeah, in a way it's sort of redundant, and you might feel like you don't have to really do it that much anymore, and you could be right. You don't have to if you don't want to. Like, you get a sense for where your money's going already. so you don't need to like always spend on it. But for me, I like doing it. I like having these numbers, and there's going to be something nice to, look back on when I make a year report. It's going to be nice to have all these numbers here, so I can make it easily. Especially, and then for the cash flow statement, like the income statement is easy. I mean, that's in YNAB 100%. The cash flow statement, there's no cash flow statement in YNAB. And especially the part when it comes to using debt, like using credit cards or other types of debt to pay for things, that's when the cash flow statement, like when you got to really understand what's going on in the cash flow statement, because otherwise you're kind of not getting the money movement thing, right? I explained it in other videos how that works, but understanding the cash flow statement, where your money is going, how it's actually coming in, and how it's actually leaving, is so important. It is super important. All right. I might not record them all forever. I mean, I think when I'm done with this sort of series here, maybe I'll keep doing them. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But let's just do the balance sheet here. So we're going to go into the balance sheet. We're going to go into, we just have to look at these numbers. Okay. So, all right. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, basically. So in the Schwab checking account, we have 6984.46. That's a big increase from last month. That's okay. Cool. All right, and PayPal, we have a little bit more because I sold something on eBay. That's nice. Venmo, I think we still have 0, but I think I have some money in there, but Venmo's not connected, so I got to do this manually. How do I see how much I have in Venmo now? It's all changed. Oh, I have $5 in Venmo. Okay, cool. I'm going to add this as a transaction in here. All right, Venmo, thanks. 9 days ago. That's helpful. All right, so November 27th, we have payee. So this guy called Wolfenstein Power on Instagram. I think his name is Alex. Did I spell it right? Yes, I did. Okay, so this guy called Wolfenstein Power on Instagram was like, hey, I need some Excel thing made. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. I know Excel, right? See, look here. So I'm like, oh, I can make it for you. And he said, okay, I'll pay you some money. So I got $5 from it. He still has to pay me another 10. So we're waiting on that to see if it happens. I don't know if it's going to happen. It might not. But whatever, I had a good time. I wasn't expecting to get a payment from him. Actually, I was like, yeah, I'll just help you out and make it for free. But he said, no, I'll pay you. So he said, okay, I'll pay you 15, and he so far has paid $5. So this is an inflow to be budgeted, actually. Ooh, we got to go back to this and go to the income and cash flows and add a line item for that. So what is this? What is this? It's going to be MISC. I don't know what it is. It's just MISC, and it's $5. So that increases the numbers. And we don't have to edit anything else, which is nice. We just put that in there as that line item. All right, so let's do the balance sheet now. Pocket money. I don't know how accurate this cash number is, but we'll see what happens when it gets to 0, if it ever gets to 0. We got some money in the reimbursement account again. It went back to 0, and now it's there. In the Ally savings, we got 32.38 Schwab brokerage account, we still have $0. So in terms of assets, we have 10,000. Okay, cool. And then we have all these credit accounts. So let's go through them. Okay, so this is what we have basically here. We have 12,000 in debts, so the net worth is now minus 1,165 and 7, which is almost 0. So expecting that the net worth come 2021 is going to be positive, and that's nice. That's going to be cool. But we still have quite a bit of debt. And that's because of this. We're not paying it down as aggressively as we were before. We're putting most of it into this Ally savings account here. All right, so that's it for the balance sheet. We're going to go into the savings ledger here. And the savings ledger is kind of nice because it looks at total savings, which is the total amount that is of type savings here. And we're going to add that, all up and put that in there. So we have an allocated amount of savings here that we're going to put towards things. So I think most of the thing we're going to add into just right here. Let me see. Well, we have the debt payoff, right? Yeah, we're going to put probably most of it in there. We got the emergency fund, goal of 5,000. Home improvements. I don't even remember really what this is. So I think we're just going to put that, down there. RF investment. Yeah, that's still going to happen at some point. We have the bike. Yep, that's still going to happen at some point. I don't know what priority it is, though. Video making software. It's not that high of a priority. I put an EMF blanket and beanie on there. I'm like, all right, it's tinfoil hat type stuff. I don't know what the priority is on that. A standing desk. It's nice to stand, not have to sit all day. Become a lord. I found this service that you can buy like a small patch of land I think it's in Scotland or something. Let's look at it. And you can become a lord. So you can add lord to your passports and your name and LinkedIn and stuff. I don't know. You can call yourself a lord, right? So you get a dedicated plot of land measuring 1 square foot, 5 square feet. You can choose. You can choose how much land you want your lordship to have, and you get a personalized title certificate. So yeah, so I found this and I'm like, ooh, I want to become a lord. But instead of buying it directly and just, because I was on this page and I was like, ooh, I could just get it. I just put it on the savings ledger. So now, like, whatever heightened emotional state I might have been in when I was looking at this and being like, wow, I should become a lord. Now it's on the savings ledger. And, well, I'm also explaining what it means to become a lord here. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I really care that much. But it is kind of cool, so I might do it. I might not. We'll see what happens. But it's here. It's now memorialized and put into the historical archive, which is YouTube. So we'll see. We'll see if I become a lord or not. Well, it's kind of nice to be a lord, I suppose, and be a real lord. You can go around saying that you're a lord, right, without actually being a lord, because you can kind of say whatever you want nowadays, and people will believe you, I guess, or they won't. I don't know. But if you buy this plot of land here, then you become an actually established lord. Technically, you become technically a lord. Okay, so here we're going to do basically is just going to be really boring and put in the whole amount into there. All right, so that's going to be it. All right, so it's pretty boring. We're 18% of our way to the debt payoff goal. That's of course our number one priority, so we're going to be funding that first. Okay, all right. So I think that's about it. That's about it for the November financials. All right. So now we're going to go into where we are, basically. Okay. So if we look at this thing, I'm going to just draw it in a slightly different way. Slightly different way. Simplify it over a little bit because we are going into the protection. We're going into the financial foundation module here. So I'm just going to copy this, bring it up here, and add some numbers to it so we can see basically where we are. We're going to get rid of all this stuff. Move this over here. I have to get rid of that thing. And I think I'm going to change the way that this is drawn or implied, because you have money coming in, which is designated or analogous to liquid coming in, and then you have liquid coming out of here, right, which is, money. This is the net income, basically. But then we have heat loss, right, which are the expenses, which heat loss doesn't really make sense. because the amount, everything that you have coming in is going to come out. So I think we're going to cancel this heat loss thing. We're going to put it over here, right? I don't know. I'll just get rid of it and see how it goes. But this is what we have basically, okay? So if we look at our income statement, the trailing 12 months average amount that we have coming in into the income statement is 323303. Okay, and then the amount that we have coming out in terms of expenses over the last trailing 12 months, again, right? Remember, that's the column that we're in here, is $24.99. So we're going to change this drawing a little bit because we're going to have expenses. And I guess for that, we're just going to take one of these and draw that as expenses, but I want to ungroup it from the rest of that stuff. And we'll give it a different color. Yeah, and maybe it makes sense to put the expenses as the financial foundation as the very bottom of it. Maybe that makes sense because that's like really the first thing that you got to kind of get under control, if it's not already, is your expenses, right? So basically this is what we are having. So this is what we have, right? And if we have this, then we have 733 as available for other things. And currently that's 733. If we look at where it's going, now let's see, we kind of got to look here to see where it's going. We have, we have 200 of it going to debt management, basically, right? And then we got, so then that leaves us with 533. We have 616 each month going into savings and investments. And that brings us down to a negative amount over an average period of time. So I don't know, whatever that is. What number was I at before? Says 616. Okay, so we're not negative 83. All right. So kind of that's sort of like what's happening. There's more stuff here too. Like I am spending money on protection, which is part of expenses. So I don't know. I guess expenses like kind of take over some of this as well. Yeah, that's kind of sort of what's happening. And I feel like now I gotta sort of, I don't know, think about like reimagine how this is supposed to work. But maybe this is gonna prompt some changes in the way that I do the categories or something like that. But I mean, I have the insurance category, which is basically the protection category. I could just rename that to protection and then put other things in there too. Because like a password manager or a VPN is a form of protection, even though it's a subscription, right? It is a form of protection. So anyway, that's sort of basically what's happening. Basically, I don't know. We'll see how I like this. But you kind of get the idea here. It's a little bit messy, but that's Lionel Messi for you. Bye-bye.